Hello and welcome to the Jamie Foster Brown Show, and I am Jamie Foster Brown. Listen, Raheem Devaughn is an American singer and songwriter. His debut album, The Love Experience, reached number 46 on the U.S. Billboard 200 album chart. It featured the singles, Guess Who Loves You More? Guess Who Loves You More? Now, Raheem, we have to stop right there, right? What happened when I heard that song? Did I call you? What did I do?
I feel like you called me. I feel like you, like you always do, you just started putting people onto it and letting the world know.
Oh my God. I even had him come over my house. That's the kind of power I had, honey. Yeah. I had him come. I thought listen, we were stuck on the highway driving up to New York. And the cars wouldn't move, and the record was playing over and over again. My assistant got really sick of me playing this record over again. I don't know if I told you that I got out the car and was dancing to the song on the highway with the doors open and everything. I just love this record. But you had the second record was Love Behind the Melody. It was released in January 2008. Yeah. It features the singles Woman, and Customer. And then you were nominated for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance at the 2008 Grammy Awards for that single. Then your third album, The Love and War Masterpiece, was released in 2010. A Place Called Love and Land. His fourth album was released in 2013. In 2015, he had released his fifth album, Love, Sex, and Passion. All the ways this love thing, and there's a reason for this, and I'll tell you why. Yeah. Released his sixth album, Decade of a Love King, on October 19, 2018. And on June 28, 2019, Devaughn released The Love Reunion, his seventh studio album, featuring the lead single, Just Right. Help me welcome my baby, Raheem Devaughn. Hey, honey.
Hello. Guess who loves you more?
I love you more. You know, I'm not married no more. You know, my husband, I even brought him to my house. My husband said, okay, she just all into this Negro. Let her have her way with him. She'll be back. I never had my way. He wasn't interested, but he did come to the house. How's mom? How's mom doing?
She's good. You know, as we get older, you know, your parents, she's like top of the priority list right now. My mom and my dad, you know what I mean?
I never met your father.
I make it my business to like get with them and like cook for them at least two times out the month. You know, my dad is in Ohio, so I'll jump in the whip and just go kick it with him, you know, especially now in these times, you know what I mean? Like I try to lay eyes on him every 3 to 4 weeks.
Wait a minute, this is really interesting to me because mom was very involved. Mom, it was like she just loved you so much and she was very involved at that time. Has she pulled back any, or is she more involved with you? How do you deal with the mother?
A mother's love is never to pull back. You know what I mean? Like I've learned to let my mother love on me how she need to love on me, and try to give her the same love, even, you know, magnified 10 times that, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, because the reality is because she made a lot of sacrifices, you know, both of them. My mom in particular, because that's why, you know, she was single parent, you know what I mean? Yes. So even though like, you know, my father was not in my household, he was in my life as much as he could be. Mm-hmm. So, I'm thankful for, you know, that's one of the things, you know, you have to find the beauty in, you know, transition. You have to find the beauty in times like this, you know, where it's a pandemic, you know, where we're in the new millennial civil rights movement all over again, you know.
Tell me what you think about the civil rights movement. What do you think is happening? What's going to happen with our Black men? You know, my platform is particularly about you guys, about Black men, and lifting you all up also. So much has been done to our men in the past.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What messaging are you bringing out there?
So I'll say two things. I'll say one, this time is giving me the time to allow me the time to understand what's the most important things. You know what I mean? In terms of like that connection, spirituality with a higher power, you know, with the Most High, the Creator, to understand, you know, the fact that you still have your parents living, how important it is to really look after them, you know, and make sure that they're good, you know, in a good space, physically and mentally. If you have children, the importance of what it is for you as a parent, you know what I mean?
So you make sure that you touch base with them often, that you...
You're
on the road a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, not as of late. I mean, I slowed down tremendously, like, you know what I mean, due to COVID. But I am, you know, there's still things, opportunities to, it's been tight, you know what I mean, in terms of, you know, I'm an independent artist. I've been independent for it'll be 10 years, you know, January 1st. I've been indie. So there's no major backing or things that have, you know, I don't have those certain cushions that other artists may have, you know what I mean, being on a major label. But it's you know, I'm a hustler, so I figured out and grind it out. But to answer your question in terms of the civil rights movement and where we are right now, you know, I think it's an awakening happening right now, you know.
What kind of awakening is this? What is happening?
A spiritual awakening, you know. I think that, you know, with social media and the new millennials have been really, they stepped it up. You know what I mean? And so I think we're going to get some, I think that there's potential to get some real results this time.
What are you doing in order to preserve? Are you putting money away? How are you, you know, are you thinking of the future? Because sometimes you can't, and knock on wood, you know, sometimes you're not able to, you know, we're not able to work.
Yeah.
So how do you provide for that? How are you thinking forward?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. You got to think in that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, me personally, I'm in a place really right now. I'm in a place where I could walk away from anything tangible. You know what I'm saying? So like material stuff, because it's just not. It's just like, you know, there's that period of time where you feel like, all right, you trying to be too much of the world. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just, so certain stuff don't move me no more. You know what I mean? Like,
you acquiring big cars and houses.
It don't move me no more. Like, I can live a simple life and know that I'm more interested in, you know, what moved my spirit, where my heart is at. What's my sole purpose while I'm on this planet, still living and breathing. Like, that's where I'm at right now with it. Like, you know what I mean? And I've been there. I feel like I've been searching for it. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'm more interested in, you know, like really being in love with myself, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like to know, and to make sure that I'm fully serving my purpose on this planet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what
is your purpose besides music? What is it? I mean, tell me. Are you talking to other young men? How are you growing your children?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been doing all of that. Like, you know, I had the foundation, the Love Life Foundation, for some years now. I mean, you name it, anything from mentoring to the youth. One of our major initiatives, advocating for women, fighting domestic violence. You know, prior to COVID, you know, we were doing annual scholarships, you know, textbook scholarship fund. This was the only year that we didn't do the textbook scholarship fund since the foundation has started. I'm hoping.
What is a test for scholarship? What do you have to test? What is that?
It's actually the textbook scholarship fund.
Okay.
So we would buy books, we pay for books and supplies for students for the first year of college. Yeah, so we kind of didn't know what was going to happen. You know, some universities, you know, a lot of people are homeschooling, different things. So it's not a necessity to buy books. You know what I mean? Per se. So it's, you know, it's a total new norm out here. You know what I mean? On all levels.
How you black men though? Did you go into the prisons? I mean, I mentioned that black men are my concern right now. About how we can help them. So many of them are washed away and put in the prison. They come out. What do? Are you talking to them? Did you ever go in? I used to go into the prison system. But,
you know, it's crazy. It was a tour being worked out for that prior to COVID. You know, prior to the pandemic. So I'm definitely down for that. I have done mentorship with cats that just came home, youth that just have come home, at-risk children. You know, in the past. You know, over the last 7 years that the foundation was up and running, prior to COVID, and we done things during the pandemic, like we serviced out hot meals and fresh dinners and produce and stuff like that as of late. But we also were of service to the essential workers, when everything first went down with COVID-19. My team on the ground, shout out to to Alma's catering, who like actually prepared it's easy for me to raise the money or whatever. She's ground zero, going to the grocery store, risking her life, preparing these meals, going to the hospital, having a conversation with them at the emergency room where they allow her to come in, and she's possibly putting herself at risk to COVID to kind of just be a beacon of light to essential workers and first responders and stuff of that nature. So even now we're finding new ways to kind of, support the community and continue to, do what we do the Love Life way.
Let me ask you this, so voting. So do you remember when Marion Barry, he ran for mayor there in Washington, D.C. after he got out of jail?
I do.
Well, his wife at that time, Cora Barry, and his PR person, Ramon Bain, they orchestrated where they could go. They had buses where they would go and get all the senior citizens and take them to the polls so that they could get out. And that's how one of the ways Marion got back in. I thought about it, but because of COVID, now we can't gather people like that, especially seniors. So are you political? Are you encouraging people to vote and to the young
definitely
people?
You got to vote. I mean, I always feel like our lives depend on the vote. I think a lot of times we focus too much on the presidential election.
Yes.
And our communities don't horn in on who the alderman is, or who's running the council. On the local level, I think we need to definitely campaign. The campaign needs to just be as hard, and cats need to go out, and voice their opinion and also run. You know what I mean? Like, if you possible. Me personally, probably not. Not in the place where I'm at in my life right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But you're smart, Raheem.
Yeah, that's a heavy cross to bear though. Politics. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like,
Are the ladies still coming after you because
that's when them sex tapes start to appear and stuff like that.
Oh my God. They love his lips. Oh my God. You should see that there's something about him when you're in how he looks at you or whatever. Oh, I'm not married right now, by the way. So I'm just saying. Terrible. You met my husband. You came to my home,
Indeed.
Yeah. And he liked you so much, we both loved your music, but you have a way with the women. What is that? I mean, you need to sell that crap. That stuff is kind of powerful.
I don't know, man. It's a gift and a curse if you don't use it right. You know what I mean? So even with that, it's just like learning, in order to use your gift, use the power properly, you have to know what it is that you have. Even, you know what I mean? So in that, I can't really fully answer that because I'm learning. I'm still learning a lot about myself.
You know something that you would not do now that you're learning, that you learned through life that you wouldn't do?
Yeah, I will not. I will not. I think a lot of men don't. I think it's a misconception with women when it comes to men and a man not wanting to fully commit.
Okay.
When it comes to like intimacy and relationships and dating and stuff like that. So I do have some firm things that I did like that, moving forward, because whether you got a girlfriend, whether you dating, whether you got a kid's mom, I'm like, to have a wife, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? I never been married and I won't get married unless the universe and I feel like it's right.
Why
you know what I'm saying?
Get married? You haven't married?
Hold on. I gotta answer this question. I ain't answer the question first.
You're putting a lot of questions in my head. Go ahead.
You done made me forget the question I'm about to answer. What was the question? What was the question before the?
A lot of the universe and a lot of things happen in your life and why.
Yeah, well, I was just saying that. I guess you were asking, well, what will I not do? You know what I'm saying? Moving forward, I will not. And I'm working on I'm gonna be working on like a book. You know what I'm saying? So, so I don't want to give too much of it away, but I will say this: that I will not. This is what I was gonna say. Now my thoughts got back to me now. All right. I was going to say, I think it's a big misconception in terms of when it comes to dating and women and men, that, you know, what they say, well, why won't he commit or why won't he commit? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to, in order to commit to something, you got to know what your triggers are. You got to know what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do. You got to know you got to know that you fully 100% being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and part of that, honesty is like, there's an ugliness that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of us don't want to face, because you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and strip yourself for everything. You know what I'm saying? To understand what it is. I got my disinfectant. You know what I'm saying? I just had it in my hand and I got emotional was talking. But yeah, so in that sense, yeah, it's like, you know, you got to know those things to know what your do's and don'ts are, and that's something I'm still learning. Like, I'm still learning myself. What I can tell you is that what I won't do is like commit to commit on that level to something like that, and possibly just kind of like play with somebody's whole universe. You know what I'm saying? When you dating, and when you you know, even when you in a committed relationship, right? Like, if you're not married, and this is just my perception from people, you know, 1 degree separate. You've been married, so you can tell me whether, you know what I'm saying? If you're not married, I don't care if you got kids with the individual, whatever. If you're not married, you know, and not just married like physical in you know, in the traditional way, but spiritually to that person, then you're whoever you interacting with, it's just really an interview.
Oh, if you're not married, and okay, so this is an interview to something that can possibly be bigger later.
Yeah, and yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like my perception on it. It's like you kind of like in an interview in real time, and the reality is that everything has an expiration date, including relationships, and for, I think the end goal is to have like to find a not necessarily a I remember seeing this quote one time saying, like, the person you're supposed to be with is your life partner. It's not your soulmate. Your soulmate prepares you for your life partner.
Soulmate prepares you for your life partner.
For your life partner, yeah, because
I never heard that. Okay.
Because yeah, so and I thought about it, and I was like, man, I like that. I think I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, if you're in that audition in real time, and everything has an expiration date. So the end goal is to really try to chase the untimely demise of the expiration date. You know what I'm saying? Where you live to either old and gray, or, you know, your partner may transition, and you may find love again. But that connection that you had with them was so strong,
right?
It transcended, you know what I'm saying, time.
Or
it just has an expiration date, and you know, because you feel the energy, y'all not getting along, you're arguing, like whatever it is. So you know, you'll see the signs. You know what I'm saying? It's just up to you to kind of like pay attention to them.
So you as the male in this relationship, you have to orchestrate that. You've been around a long time, so you've experienced a lot. You've got kids, and you know a lot. You've seen a lot of stuff. You know better. What are some of the signs or things that you've noticed that you know, I should have pulled back, or I should not have done such and such, or I should have pursued something?
You got to listen to your spirit. You got to listen to the spirit of intuition, man. It be right there in your face. A lot of times you see, you know, if you know your triggers and you see it early, you know what I'm saying? You got to say, hey, like, hey, that's a trigger for me. You know what I'm saying? At that point, that's a warning. That's like you know, it's a strike. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 strikes, whatever your philosophy is, but that's a warning. So if you choose to stick, if you continue to get that same behavior 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, but 10 times, at that point, you just abusing yourself.
So listen, when you talk to your guys, you have friends. Where's your friend, the one who painted all the time? Is he still painting?
Devaughn painting. Yeah, he's around.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that one of his paintings behind? No, that's not behind.
Nah, that's another. That's a vet, man. Shout out to Mrs. Vet. What's the vet's last name? Is Crocker. She's really dope. Painter.
Nice.
She's from like uptown DC. Yep.
Do you you've learned so much? Do you share the knowledge that you have with your friends?
I plan to. I think that's in my calling. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all that I've experienced, and you know, my journey in life, and you know, I think that's definitely a calling for me. You know, and I give advice. I mean, I give advice now. Like I get you know, it's different little apps and things that we got now. There's a Cameo app. So that's one of the services we provide. I provide in terms of like people would text me, and we'll have conversations back and forth about, like, they'll be asking me flat out like relationship advice or whatever. And it's like, I don't know all the answers, Sway, but I guess they value my opinion enough that they want to get it. So I'll give it. You know what I'm saying? You never know when God is moving through you. So, you know what I mean? You
look so young. That you haven't aged at all. And I know you've been through a lot.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you spending some time with me. I don't want to lose you again. Okay,
yeah.
So we can continue to talk.
Indeed.
And thank you for spending some time with us and with Sisters of Sister 2.0. Tell Mommy hi. Everybody,
I will definitely do that.
All right, love you. Thank you.
I love you too.
Okay,
all right.
Bye.
Peace. Bye-bye.